Holy shit, did you see that? He just stole J-Dog's catchphrase and he's passing it off as his own. Did you see that? He's totally taking bits and pieces of other people's personalities and trying to pass it off as his own. Holy shit. Let's run with it and just turn this metal community into one big giant fuckfest shit show drama fest, because that's all the kids seem to be doing on YouTube these days. Yeah. L.A. Orb. Yeah. But anyway. What's up, fuckers? There's one thing I love about J-Dog is not only his sincerity, although I don't agree with all of his points and perspectives, nor why should you agree with anyone's points and every perspective and every idea and every philosophy that they have inside their head. But one reason that I really love J-Dog is because he's living proof that your age begins to show as you age. And for all you like who just turned 21, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? What? Because I'm 21, you're gonna belittle me and tell you? Just wait till you live double the life that you've yet to live, and your perspective will change on things. Okay, or at least they should. I hope they do. But that's besides the point. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents as I always do. But I said that one thing to say this other thing, and the whole purpose behind this video, because I got slightly triggered, I'm not gonna lie, because I am indeed a grandpa, and not in the literal sense, but I am indeed a grandpa. And today on the gram, on the Insta, on the gram, and on Shitter, I couldn't help but just see everyone's fucking sharing like their Spotify list. Like, oh, look at my Spotify list. Look at my top 20. Look at my top 40. Look at my Spotify. Look at my Spotify. Oh, here's my Spotify. What's your Spotify? Oh, look at Spotify. Yay, Spotify. And long story short, I fucking despise Spotify. And I know I'm not trying to sound like a fucking edgy hipster or an edgelord or a gatekeeper, but I just despise what these, because I mean, let's face it, Spotify is like the McDonald's of streaming services. It's like the WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment of streaming services. It's the fucking Google Maps of the world when you're lost in the world, right? And this video isn't really gonna, I understand that this video isn't made to like sway people's opinions or their preferences, because I know that's an impossibility at this point. It's a fucking juggernaut. But I just despise how Spotify bends over and rapes the artists and pays them in pennies. Now, if the difference between metal bands, metal artists, and let's say, for example, rap artists or whatever, right? It's like rappers, like the well-known big-time rappers. Fuck, there's a fucking bee flying around me or some shit. If I get stung on my bald-ass head, I'm gonna blame it on you. But yeah, going back to the difference between metal bands and rap artists and stuff like that. You know, rap artists are getting paid, you know, thousands, $250,000 for a gig, or in 4 gigs they make, you know, $250,000, and then they just go home and do whatever the fuck they do, or waste it on jewelry or rims or whatever the fuck, right? And that's cool, you know, make your bread, make your paper, however you can. But in metal, it's like these artists, they do it for the love and the passion of the music. They're not, you know, Alex Webster and Paul Mazurkowitz, you know, Glenn Benton, you know, Ross Dallin, you know, all these motherfuckers, when they get done with their tour, you know, they're not going to a mansion and getting a $250,000 deposited into their bank account, you know, and shit like that. And I just despise how they pay these artists. I guess ultimately they don't give a fuck about the money, right? I guess that's the difference as well between most metal artists, bands, and rappers and all that. You know, most metalheads, they're not in it for the money. I mean, if you're in the music business in regards to metal, if you're in it for the money, you're in the wrong business, bubby. Wrong motherfucking business. But I just the only streaming service that I use is Bandcamp because I'm a nerd, and I just again this isn't gonna sway anybody's opinions or thoughts on the matter, but if your main source of music consumption is Spotify, then you are an enabler. You are enabling these fucking corporate cocksuckers to just keep on doing what they're doing and paying these artists in pennies. And I will not be that. I will not do that. Again, people are gonna do whatever the fuck they want. And yes, I'm gonna reiterate that I'm a fucking grandpa, and I'm just bitching and moaning about people's preferences and all this stupid shit, right? But that's just not gonna be me. And if you use Spotify as your main music, as your main source of consumption with music, then you are an enabler. You are enabling these cocksuckers to keep being the fucking corporate thieves that they are. And I'm not going to stand for it. And I never will. And I made a Spotify account just to follow a few friends' bands or their podcasts, and then I'll check it out, and then I won't use Spotify for another fucking year or whatever. Because I don't like it. I don't like what it's done to the music industry. I don't like what it's done to just, I don't know, call me old school, call me old fashioned, or whatever the fuck, but that's not going to be me. That won't be me, and it never will be me. Because again, you are an enabler and you are enabling these people to get away with paying these artists in pennies. And I think it's bullshit. And I'll never support it. I'll never stand for it. And that's just the way I feel. That's just the way I see it. There's a duck that's like, he's laughing at the fact that, I don't know if it'll come out on the camera, but yeah, I can't do it. And all these, and like the mass consumption I've noticed some people on YouTube when it comes to the metal scene, um, just listening to like 20 or 30 bands a day, and it's like, check out this band, check out that band, check out this band, check out that band, this new album, check out that album, and it's just like, how do you truly, fully ever really enjoy something if it's just this overly like monsoon tsunami of these waves of just trying to keep up with something that is just it's just an infinite realm, it's an infinite sea of shit when you're just onto the next thing, onto the next band, onto the next album, onto this. You never really fully marinate your bones and your soul in the music. And it and at that point, for me personally, that's when people lose track of the most important thing, and that is the music itself. It becomes like this weird like clout thing of like people think they have like this, you know, encyclopedia metallum fucking, you know, just like a fucking encyclopedia of information of all these bands and what their favorite cereal is and their favorite food and their, all this type of shit that to me is just irrelevant. It's like ultimately I will always separate the art from the artist, and maybe I'm a cold-hearted sack of shit for feeling that way or perceiving it that way, but at the end of the day, you know, if a band or some band members believe in some retarded shit or they did some heinous shit in their lifetime, it's like these motherfuckers are never gonna come over to my house for dinner. And when I die, they're not gonna go to my funeral. So I don't really give a fuck what they do on and off or outside of the music that they create. I just don't. I don't get caught up. Like when I was in my 20s, like I would get all caught up in like band members and oh, and this and that, and behind the scenes, and oh my god, Alex Webster's favorite pizza is uh, the shakaroni from Papa John's, and his favorite beverage is root beer, and it's like, but after a while, I just stopped giving a fuck about all this extra tidbits and little gems and Easter eggs of information that revolve around all these individuals within the metal scene, and I just now that I'm older, I really just don't give a fuck. I don't have the time, and it's just give me some killer fucking jams, some killer fucking albums, and it begins and ends there for me. And outside of that, I really, truly, sincerely just do not give a fuck. Maybe I should. I wish I could, but I sincerely just don't give a flying fuck what these people do outside of their musical artistic expression. I just don't. It begins and ends with the music, and as I've gotten older, that's just the way I'm always going to see it. That's that. Until next time, I'll see y'all sick motherfuckers later. Peace.